What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel, and today we are here for a new Madden 23 rebuild where we're going to go through 5 years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and see what life after Tom Brady is like for this franchise mode. Now, we're going to force retire Tom Brady because, you know, he probably will play till he's 70 in this sim, so for the time being, we're going to force retire him, we're going to move him to punter, and he'll just whittle away on free agency. But looking at the roster, I mean, it was a very disappointing year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Todd Bowles in particular, pretty much it almost felt like everybody kind of underperformed to a degree, but they also weren't absolutely horrible. Like, I mean, like Tom Brady still had almost 5,000 yards. Mike Evans got his. Chris Godwin, when healthy, looked still pretty damn good. Tristan Wirfs is one of the best tackles in the NFL. You got some young promising players on the offensive side of the ball. Rashad White, Cade Otton looked like they're going to be, you know, some decent players in the league. And you look at the defensive side, Villa is an absolute monster. The linebacking core still was pretty good. The secondary was a little suspect given the talent that they had there, but long term, you know, we get Jamel Dean under contract, Carlton Davis under contract, and Antoine Winfield under contract. So those are really three guys that we can definitely build around on the defensive side of the ball. But now the question surrounds the quarterback spot. As much as Kyle Trask was an unreal quarterback for my Florida Gators, throwing it to Kyle Pitts and Kadarius Toney, I don't know if he's necessarily going to be the guy. There's definitely a world where you make a Kyle Trask video because the Bucs playbook is just so overpowered. You could just, like, how long would it take for this 57 overall quarterback to become a franchise quarterback? Now, he is also on the older side for a rookie at 25 years old. So as much as I would love to do a Kyle Trask video, I kind of wanted to explore another option here today, as one of the rumors that are kind of building up on Twitter is that the Bucs could be in the market, at least for this year, for moving for a veteran quarterback and maybe defecting, getting your new franchise young gunner, maybe in the 2024 draft, if this trade for the new quarterback, the veteran quarterback, doesn't work out. So as you can probably tell from the thumbnail, here's what I'm thinking. Now, in order to get this trade to happen, we're going to have to get rid of some of the dead weight, and we're going to get rid of one of the worst starting tackles in the NFL, and Donovan Smith, to give us the available cap to make this move. Plus, I think we got rid of Cam Brate and Ryan Suckup as well for our veterans. Our hypothetical, which might very well play out in real life, is what if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trade for Derek Carr? I like Derek Carr. You know, we did the Raiders franchise a couple Maddens ago, and I basically said, like, you know what? From that year that he was coming out of Fresno State, I was like, this guy might have a chance to be the best quarterback in the class. He was my sleeper quarterback of that year, considering he wasn't a consensus first rounder. And, you know, I think he's solid. I think there's still definitely something there. He's an 80 overall, which is a little bit higher than what he is if he did a start today. I think he's a 77 or 78, but he had a good year for the sim in the Raiders, so that kind of worked out. And we're going to give the same value that the Indianapolis Colts gave to the Atlanta Falcons to acquire Matt Ryan, a third-round pick for Derek Carr. And I think with how overpowered this Tampa Bay Bucs playbook is, we might be able to salvage something here with Derek Carr into his later years. And already coming to our scheme, he has that +4 more. He's an 84 quarterback. I know he's 32. I know if we're going to go on a 5-year rebuild, it's just within the context of Madden, his rating is likely at its ceiling. Might have, you know, unless he goes nuclear, which is there's an absolute chance he gets like 50 touchdowns a year with this Bucs squad and, you know, might hit the ground run. I think there's still something here, man. And I think even within the context of real life, I think you could definitely see a scenario where obviously the Bucs are probably going to be looking more so to 2024 for a young quarterback prospect if things don't work out. But I think along with probably Washington, maybe, you know, those are probably the big two that I think I would feel fairly comfortable that they're going to go and maybe side. Maybe also the Raiders are going to go in the direction of maybe a veteran quarterback versus drafting, you know, one of the CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson in this upcoming year. So I do think Derek Carr to the Bucs is very, I don't want to say very likely, but it seems like it's either going to be the Bucs or the Saints that are going to acquire the services of Derek Carr. And I think with how good this Bucs playbook is, I kind of want to play this one out and see just how the Bucs would be with Derek Carr as their guy under center. For free agency, really only have limited cap space to go after maybe 1 or 2 targets. I need a tackle. I need a left tackle. Ideally, we're not going to be able to, you know, replace everybody, but some via the draft. So we are got to mix in some free agency. So I'm going to look at Jawan Taylor here, tackle, and we'd get him and slide him. We'd actually probably keep him at right tackle and slide Tristan Wirfs over to the left tackle spot. We still have other needs. We need a defensive end for our front three. We need, we have Zion McCollum, who we remember from Pink Slips was an absolute animal. I don't know. You know, I might want to try to get him to be our corner 3, see if we can have him break out a little bit. But we still need another safety next to Antoine Winfield. And you could make the argument that, like, you know, another pass catcher, especially in the tight end spot. Is Kate Otten going to continue to develop, or do we continue to strengthen? Either way, I think Jawan Taylor is where I just want to spend our free agency money. We're going to get him at right tackle. We'll move Tristan Wirfs to left tackle, and then hopefully we can fix a lot of the other holes during the draft. Would you believe it that Larry Barner was my top target? Would you believe it? Would you? Would you? Could you? He was, of course, the defensive tackle. That was like first in everything speed-wise, aka, yeah, flip this guy to a 3-4 defensive end. Got two that I still like. Jonathan Gary doesn't have as good of key ratings, but his combine, he has elite strength, elite acceleration, and his combine is very good. But that's second, third round. I feel like we might be able to wait because not only do we have him, but I think Jason Sharpton with the much better key ratings and maybe not as good of a combine, but I think either one of those players would be pretty nice for us. So D-tackle is something that we're kind of looking at. I think pass rush is another area where it's like, okay, let's focus. You know, Jermaine Mann could also kind of fit that 3-4, but looking for a 3-4 outside linebacker. Unfortunately, there's not like crazy prospects by any stretch of the imagination. I think Jerome Rush, another third rounder, looks fairly solid. 6'6", 267, A power move, A tackle. Maybe not the best combine, but not a bad combine. Or I think if you look at the other side, right defensive end, Frank Harris, the double A's out of Washington. He could be someone that we kind of consider as well. But for me, I think the best value, because all that stuff second, third round, maybe we look at being aggressive. Maybe we look at trying to trade up. I think we can grab our strong safety here that we are looking for. And we got Leon Culliver, double A's for the tackle and hit power, C for man, C for zone. I think that as a combine is concerned, maybe not the best that you're looking for. Who's the other safety? Let me compare the combine between him and Eric McNeil. Also looks like he'd be fairly solid. I might actually use the tiebreaker as who has the better combine. Both not amazing athletes, to be honest with you. I guess 6 feet 210. It's a little more prototypical. So we're gonna grab Leon Culliver with our first pick, and it's normal. Womp womp. All right, we still have Sharpton available in the second round. He will be drafted and come in and be our right defensive end. 3 Bs and an A. Looks pretty damn good, but we can't buy a dev trade here in this draft. Final pick of the draft actually looks like a pretty ridiculous kicker to come in and replace Sacco. You got A awareness, B accuracy. I think, damn, that's a hell of a kicker. So with the addition of Derek Carr and Jawan Taylor, we were able to add some decent players throughout the draft. It's been a minute since we've had a draft where I don't get a hidden dev player. At least it shows that I am human, and I'm not going to discredit the fact that we got a 73, 74, and 74 in a draft, but it's also not really necessarily up to my personal standards. Leon Culliver comes in, 73 run support scheme fit at strong safety. He is going to play right away. And I mean, you know, normal devs aren't a death sentence for these players, especially rookies are going to find a way on the field. Because, you know, again, all it takes is for, you know, Culliver or Sharpton, who's going to most likely start at defensive end. One of these guys just have a good year, go and get defensive rookie of the year, and likely they will bump up a dev trade. So I'm not overly worried. We got a 64, look at the kicker, 74. That's awesome. And we finish up with a nice depth corner. But I don't want this to become a habit. We need to start hitting and pulling some dev trade players through the draft. So going into year one of the Derek Carr era here in Tampa Bay, it's, you know, not a lot of changes from when Tom Brady was there. I'm going to continue with Shaun White as our lead back just because the upside is there over Leonard Fournette. He will still be our power back, so we still see, you know, hopefully some power back Lenny, some playoff Lenny come season's end. Wide receivers are the same. We're going to go Kate Otten at starter. Jawan Taylor coming over via free agency is going to be our right tackle. I kicked Robert Hainsey, who was a backup center. We're going to make him our left guard, and obviously Tristan Wirfs moving to the left tackle to be our blindside protector for Derek Carr. The defensive side, we're going Logan Hall, Vita Vea, and the rookie Sharpton will make up our front three. Joe Tryon, Shoyinka, Devin White, Levante David, and Shaq Barrett make up a linebacking core, which is very good. Culliver will get the start at strong safety with Winfield at free. Jamel Dean, Carlton Davis, and pink slip star Zion McCollum is going to start as our slot. And actually, that's where he played in pink slips. He was our slot corner, our slot wide receiver eliminator. I mean, this guy here has just ridiculous traits. I would love to see him to get a dev trade and pop off here. 6'2", 200 pounds, 93 speed, 95 acceleration, 97 agility, 93 jumping. An absurd athlete who hopefully, you know, Todd Bowles and company can maximize his potential. But let's see how the Derek Carr era is I expect to be good because the Bucs are a good sim team in Madden 23, but I'm also prepared for this to be the one time that they're not good, and we have our work cut out for us. So let's get into year one of this 5-year rebuild, Tampa Bay with Derek Carr. Didn't expect this, like literally just had my daughter in my office, like wasn't recording, but Jason Sharpton, our normal dev rookie, hit a dev trade in season up to a star and got 10,000 XP boost. I will take that every day of the week. And we're looking okay, 6-4. Of course, the NFC South is just, especially the Panthers, are just ridiculously overpowered this year. We have another breakout. Let's go to this breakout linebacker. It's for Joe Tryon. We'll sim to the next week. We'll play this one live, and we'll see if he hits that. If he does, awesome. If not, we'll roll into next week where we will talk about contract extensions. And I'm more so just very, very curious what our salary cap's going to look like, because it was very tight. We had to drop guys to make the Derek Carr trade. So we get the victory, 31-27. The Jags are a playoff caliber team. And Joe, unfortunately, not everybody will be blessed with a dev trade scenario. That one's a little bit more difficult as he was trying to gain superstar. Whatever. That wide receiver one is probably likely going to be, Chris Godwin trying to become an X factor, which, let's be honest, I'll just show you that if it happens, because I am fairly optimistic that won't in the sim, but we are in the Bucs playbook. Maybe that's what happens. So it is Chris Godwin. He's 4 touchdowns or 200 yards. That is going to be very difficult. Let's look at our contract. Only 6 players set to become free agents. And, of course, we're going to have to we got Devin White, Shaq Mason, Mike Evans, Antoine. Okay, so Antoine Winfield's the most important. We got to get him locked up. We'll give him that 5-year deal. Can we even get Mike? We can't get Mike Evans. One of my favorite players in the NFL. Can we get Devin White? We can get Devin White. Oh my God. I don't want to let Mike Evans walk. I don't know if... there's like no way we're going to be able to... Fuck. I can lose Shaq Mason. There's an argument he made. Like current gen wide receivers. Like last gen, I think Andre Johnson was probably my favorite. This gen, you can make a case. Non-Eagles, non-AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Deshaun Jackson, like that era, Mike Evans is probably on that list of my favorite wide receivers in the NFL. That is painful. I'm hoping maybe we can make a couple moves this offseason and free up cap and bring him back. But we're not going to be able to until he hits the open market, which, if it's a bidding war, could get to... what a kick in the you-know-what. Yep. There's our second normal dev rookie, Leon Culver at safety, going up dev trade this season. So that actually puts it into the case where if either one of them win Defensive Rookie of the Year, we could be looking at a superstar dev come season's end. And that was a monster year one for Derek Carr and the Buccaneers. 13-4 winning the NFC South in just year one with a number 3 passing offense, top 5 overall, number 1 defense. I mean, as soon as you probably clicked on a Bucs rebuild, you knew that we're going to be not bad. Derek Carr came in 3rd in passing yards. I see 45 touchdowns there as well. So that should bode well for him going up to a superstar. I have Chris Godwin, 128 or so. They need to just nerf this playbook, dude. This playbook's ridiculous. Jamel Dean leading interceptions. Good God, what happened here this year? Derek Carr, 3rd in yards, 2nd in touchdowns, 5,100 yards, 45 touchdowns. The resurrection of Derek Carr here in Tampa. Over 1,000 yards. Rachaad White, 16 vultures from Leonard Fournette. See what's a healthy 1-2 punch. We had 1,800 yards, 19. Just an insane year for Chris Godwin. Mike Evans goes over 1,000 yards, keeps that streak alive. 9-5 for Gage, 875-7 from Cade Otton. Good year for him. He might have a chance going up a dev trait. Defensively, over 100 tackles for both Levante David and Devin White, with Levante David also having 5 interceptions. 12 sacks for the rookie Jason Sharpton. Outstanding. He might be Defensive Rookie of the Year and get that double dev trade increase this rookie season. 11 sacks, Shaq Barrett. 10.5 from Vita Vea. 8 from Joe Tryon. 6 picks from Mel Dean. Tied for 1st in the league. Devontae with 5. 3 from Winfield. 3 from the... Yeah, I like to see him also break out. Zion McCollum. Excellent season there. Playing a lot better than his rating indicates. Yearly awards MVP goes to Jalen Hurts. Derek Carr coming in at number 3. Chris Godwin's Offensive Player of the Year. Jason Sharpton, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Quarterback goes to Hurts, with Derek Carr coming in at number 2. Wide receiver goes to Chris Godwin. We have, that might be it. Jamel Dean. How do you have 6 picks? 6 picks, you don't get DB of the Year? And my kicker was runner-up? Did Charvarius Ward also have 6? because if he didn't, that is a complete robbery. He also had 6. But I had 1 more pass, if he probably had more tackles. Either way, outstanding year for year 1 for the Bucs. You know, while I'm not going to be too concerned about Derek Carr's overall rating, the better dev traits that we can start stacking up, I mean, it's only going to bode well for him for the remainder of this rebuild. In the first round of the playoffs, we are taking on the Commanders. Don't want to be one and done. We're a juggernaut. This is at least you want to make a NFC Championship game, appearance. That's exactly what we do against a divisional rival in the 5 seed Carolina Panthers. We handle the Commanders 30-13 in a matchup. Derek Carr played clean. We forced 2 interceptions on Teddy Bridgewater. Both teams kind of, I said that I think Commanders are going to be another team that are going to be looking for a veteran quarterback. Levante David, 2 interceptions, and we might have a chance to win this freaking Super Bowl year 1. Will we keep? I probably would keep going, honestly. We might see if we can get 2. But we have to handle the Panthers, who have been a thorn in our ass. And we're in the Super Bowl, year 1 of the Derek Carr era. It looked like a little bit of a shootout. We'll look at that as we set up the Super Bowl here against the Bengals. But we are, 34 wasn't even really that close. Kind of playing like the Eagles. Stacked team, easy schedule, you know what I'm saying? Leonard Fournette, man, this just outrageous 1-2 punch with Rachaad White and Leonard Fournette in our backfield. An insane amount of vulturing going on. A sack and a half for Jason Sharpton, our rookie. Interception, Jamel Dean is 7th of the year. Sets up a nice matchup here in the Super Bowl. We'll get front row seats to this one. Just see if we can put it all together. And, they're good, but we're better overall. They're only 86 overall. Here's a look at Jason Sharpton. This is where we would see our dev traits. Your defensive rookie of the year. Really want to see superstar here. Come on. There we go. Defensive rookie of the year, Jason Sharpton. Up to a superstar. Chris Godwin up to an X factor after his ridiculous season. And if a scenario comes out where we can't re-sign Mike Evans, I'm happy that Chris Godwin can take over as our X factor wide receiver. And there's just the rest of the upgrades there for the team. Let's hop in on the stick. See what happens here in the Super Bowl. Bucks, Bengals, Carr, Burrow. Let's get it. Okay. Derek Carr right there. Look at that. Stunting for the Super Bowl. Opening drive. We go right down into the red zone. Get the touchdown. Too easy. Defense gets a stop. Both defenses kind of tighten up here a little bit. But Tampa might just be too much. Cincinnati gets a much-needed touchdown before halftime. Kick the field goal. Can I do a 4-point lead? Plenty to play for in the second half. Up by 7. Defense has been playing pretty well. We got a lot of veterans, but Bengals get the touchdown. Tied up at 17. Turnover. They hold him to a field goal. We are down 3. Does Derek Carr have what it takes? He gets the touchdown. What is the defense going to do? 46 seconds remaining. They get the go-ahead score. Oh my God, what happens? Oh, we're going to overtime. 27-27. 3rd down. It's not what you want to see. Do not really want. How's there a turnover? There's a turnover. Multiple punts. And we kick the field goal. Year 1. Derek Carr with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This might be the. I might be able to upload this Saturday. I was playing on the Sunday. We might as well just get this going for today, fellas. 1 year's all it took. Wow. The more you know. I guess if you're... Do we just keep running it? I don't know. I almost feel like we just wait and see now. Like where Derek Carr actually ends up signing. If he goes with Tampa, well, here you go. If he doesn't go to Tampa, we can still do a realistic rebuild. If you're looking for like a full-fledged Bucs. Because this is it. You already know it's going to just be regression from Derek Carr at this point. This is kind of what I wanted to see. And he was outstanding. Full-on shootout. 450 passing yards. 3 touchdowns. $144 for Chris Godwin. 11 catches, 100 yards for Mike Evans. I feel like because he won the Super Bowl, because we can't re-sign Mike Evans, because Derek Carr is going to start regressing, this just feels like, let's cash in on this one. Derek Carr to the Bucs, obviously in the realm of Madden 23. Elite. Absolutely elite. Did what he had to do. And I guess as it stands for real life, we just take a step back, see where Derek Carr goes. Where do you guys think he's going to go? I do think it's going to be, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Washington. I think one of those 3 teams could definitely be in for a veteran quarterback. I've seen some outside shots of maybe like, the Jets, but I think the Jets are probably honing in on Aaron Rodgers at this point. But, quick little video here on Saturday. Enjoy it. Tampa Bay. I mean, honestly, I might want to just have Kyle Trask bias. Rerun this back some point and just with the Bucs playbook, can Kyle Trask, a 50-some overall quarterback, develop and become, an MVP and bring this team to Super Bowl? Because obviously how overpowered the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playbook is. But, we'll cash out on this one, fellas. A successful rebuild for Tampa Bay only took us 1 full year. I'm going to go watch the second half of the Senior Bowl, and I hope you guys did enjoy. I will see you guys maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday, don't know. But when I do see you, it'll be a good one. Thank you guys very much for watching. Your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. Helps with the channel more than you know. Let me know in the comment section below what team you want to see rebuilt next. This whole thing kind of started with a Twitter poll. Follow me on Twitter at PapaXC4, where I said, do we do Bucks? Do we do Saints? Especially with that mock draft that I dropped yesterday with the Saints getting Will Levis. That could be a scenario we kind of play out with the Saints now having a first-round pick from the Sean Payton trade. We could do the Tennessee Titans. And whatever, though. What you guys want to see, let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys back in the next one. Till next time, it's your boy C4. Saying peace out. Love ya. Have a good one.